Good evening, friends. Myself, Dr. Nidhi Darbari, on My Education Treasure. In my previous video on NYAYA philosophy, I had discussed about its epistemology, metaphysics, and axiology. Today, in my present video, I am going to discuss about the educational implications of NYAYA philosophy, its aims and curriculum. Nyaya, the Sanskrit word nyaya, which literally means recursion, used in the sense of syllogism, inference, is the name given to one of the six orthodox or Astic schools of Hindu philosophy, specifically the school of logic. The Nyaya school of philosophical speculation is based on texts known as Nyaya Sutra, which were written by Akaspat Gautam in 2nd century CE. The most important contribution made by the Nyaya school to modern Hindu thought is its methodology to prove existence of God based on the Vedas. This methodology is based on a system of logic that subsequently has been adopted by the majority of other Indian schools, orthodox or not. 16 Padarth or categories. The Nyaya metaphysic recognizes 16 Padarth or categories and includes all 6 or 7 categories of the Vaisheshik in the second one of them called Pramay. These 16 categories are Praman or valid means of knowledge, Pramay or objects of valid knowledge, Samasya or doubt, Prayojan or aim, Dishtant or example, Siddhant or conclusion, Avyav or member of syllogism, Tark or hypothetical reasoning, Nirnay or settlement, Vad or discussion, Jalp or wrangling, Vitand or cavilling, Hetbhasha or fallacy, Chal or quibbling, Jati or sophisticated refutation, and Nigrahasthana, point of defeat. Education according to the Nyaya philosophy. The Nyaya is pluralistic realism with its faith in it nisanats through abhyas. It believes in the promotion of social culture and civilization through morality, religion, and science. Education, therefore, is spirito-social necessity. Man, according to realism, has to learn and enrich culture and make his society better than what he has found it. In other words, man to be man must be educated, for culture is transmitted to progeny as is also found among animals. Education is the basic need and also the right of man. The Nyaya system as such believes that life in all aspects should be explored and learning must be made a profession. Education as a social society also implies a spiritual necessity because without the evolution of man is a social being. The system, being realistic, holds life and society to be valuable and does not recommend the Ved at self-realization in isolation. Education as a social science has made the realistic thinkers all over the world for social, cultural, religion, moral and scientific development of man. It is optimistic zeal on the part at Nyaya that it always stood for the welfare of the mankind in this world and also for spiritual growth of the soul, which has essence. Aims of education. The ultimate aim of the human life according to Nyaya is nisres or self-realization. But the self-realization needs a background first of all of the social identification. The world is real and values obtained in the worldly life are means to a higher growth of human life. Education should therefore aim at virtuous life, which can be developed only when there is the spirit of social concern in man. The chief function of education is therefore to inculcate the spirit of social concern among students. Life is the mixture of a material substance known as soul and also material substance. There should be no tendency of extremism in human personality. A balanced life is what the educational concept of the Nyaya aims at. Since perception is the chief means of all knowledge, it is imperative on the part of education to aim physical as well as intellectual development of child's personality. The Nyaya being only a logical and analytical approach to the world holds that education should aim at sensory and intellectual training. The logical realism of the Nyaya also aims at developing a patriotic spirit among children. On the whole, it pleads for a good balanced life, which means a harmonious development of children, clouding in the development of the physical, mental, spiritual, social, and ethical aspects of personality. This development of integrated personality cannot take place without two things, namely a thinking attitude based on comparative knowledge and inculcation of dynamic habits amongst children in order that their personality may deviate from their willing decisions. Habit is nothing but a moral life. The aims of education is to create a will force in students, but man is also a rational animal. Therefore, the aim of education is to develop rational thinking in the child. Thus, the cognitive as well as cognitive faculties are needed to be developed in the students according to the Nyaya concept of education. The student in realistic system is quite ready to come in contact with his surrounding society and nature. He has deep curiosity and great hunger for learning. It is therefore natural to seek guidance of the teacher at the point where his grasp of the problem fails. He must be obedient, yet he should not follow the teacher blindly. The student is not the reflex of society exclusively. He has the capacity to change society and nature. He must have logical understanding and capacity to make inquiry fearlessly. The realism of the Nyaya is education which aims at the growth of human culture and civilization. It is therefore imperative that the teacher must transmit all his scholarship pertaining to the field of which he is an expert to the students so that the latter may develop his academic and social personality to the full. Thus, the student, as a seeker of knowledge, was also, with the help of teacher, become the seeker of wisdom, which is another name of self-realization. Curriculum. Education, according to Nyaya, is concerned with all kinds of knowledge so that the student may be equipped with various abilities and interests. The system envisages a curriculum which is most psychological and which caters to the cognitive, affective, and cognitive aspects of the learner. The Nyaya education is nothing but a technique of gathering knowledge through perception, inference, verbal testimony, and comparison. Hence, all literary and scientific subjects, along with ethical and religious literature, are recommended. Since Nyaya education is concerned with organic and hyperorganic values, all subjects which are taught in present time are recommended. The Nyaya lays more emphasis on language as the structure of the universe. It emphasizes rational thinking as well as rational behavior with explicit stress on the study of life preserving and life enhancing subjects. If you found the video to be informative and interesting, I request you all to please give a like to the video to motivate me, share it with others and subscribe it so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get a notification. Since it deals with physical, mental, and spiritual development of the learner's personality, it recommends all natural sciences, social sciences, and also vocational subjects. It stands for subjects which explore life, nature, and self. It is needless to enumerate different subjects. It may be safely held that subjects yielding different varieties of knowledge have their scope in the NYAYA system of education. It believes in complete development of man in society and in all-round evolution of man so that after acquiring knowledge, wisdom may follow. Intellectual preparation leads to wisdom. Hence, NYAYA philosophy upholds the cause of complete scholarship. As such, there is need of all subjects on the earth. Thank you very much for patiently watching the video and don't forget to subscribe.